Bombshells, it's ForeverNatalyn. How are you today? This video is going to be on contouring and highlighting. I see a lot of bombshells wanting to try to do the contouring and the highlighting, but they don't know where to start. So hopefully this little tutorial will kind of assist you and help you be a better contourer. Contouring is basically used to create light and depth to the face. It redoes the entire bone structure of the face. You can easily go from having a very plump, round face to having a face that looks chiseled and like you were born with nice, awesome cheekbones when you weren't. So it's basically just redoing the bone structure of the face, making you look more, just more perfect. I don't know. Like, I do it because I want to have certain looks, and when I contour, it just makes me feel more put together in a way. So, what do you want to contour? There are so many things that you can contour. Basically, contouring is to create like depth to the face, and highlighting is to create light. So, on the face, you want to notice the points that are always going to be visibly targeted by the light, which are typically the highest points of the face. So you have your bridge of the nose, you have your cheekbones, you have your brow bones, you have the area here where the chin is, and then you also have above the lip by the Cupid's bow. To create light there, you want to use a lighter color. So there are so many options, and some of the options that I'm going to show you, I highly recommend that you purchase if you're a beginner or if you just want to have some of the best products for contouring, in my opinion. Okay, so the first thing that you need is a concealer. I use concealer to do my contouring. Some people use powder, some people use blushes. It's really, I guess, to each its own, but this is the bombshell way. I use a concealer palette. The one that I use here right now is the BH Cosmetics 10 color palette. I love, love, love this thing. And then I also have fallen in love with this baby. This is the Pro Conceal and Correct palette by MAC. And it comes in 4 different options for colors, and the color palette I chose was medium deep. So it has perfect colors for my skin complexion and colors that I like to play with that are around my skin color. So no, these are not my colors on my skin, of course. We have a lot of colors going on here, but these are colors that I would like to play, or the field of colors that I'm safe within. That fits me. You have to find the color palette that fits you. If you don't want to go through that trouble, you can always get this 10 color palette, the BH Cosmetic one, because this is a palette that will work for fair skin to olive skin to deep. So this one really covers like all the colors that there possibly could be. And of course you can mix them to create a custom color, which is why I love palettes. Now, one thing that I love about this palette by MAC is because it has this awesome, awesome, awesome yellow concealer. I love this color because it really gives you a very nice highlight on my skin color and a lot of olive to tan to warmer bombshell. So if you're a tan bombshell, you'll find that the yellow concealer looks awesome on you. If you're too fair skin, you don't want to get a concealer that's too yellow because it actually can make you look very sick in the face. So you want to stay away from yellows if you're very fair or pale skin. You will want to look for something that's a little bit more cooler. Another product that I do love, 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 and I just got it like a month ago. I don't know why I'm so late, but Bombshells, this powder is like God's gift to my face. This is the Banana Luxury Powder by Ben Nye, and honey, when I tell you, this stuff is incredible. You take a little bit of it. It's a loose powder, so you're going to need something to apply it with. I like to use these. These are the MAC wedges. And you're just taking your wedge and you just put a little bit of loose powder and you're going to place it wherever you want to highlight. And it is a satin finish, so it doesn't look cakey or anything on the skin. It looks flawless. You have to get it. I purchased mine from a costume store here in Atlanta, but you can do a Google search and there are tons of online stores that sell them. It retails between $12 to maybe $15, depending on the size that you get. And I got the 3-ounce one, which is plenty enough. This should last me for a while. I shouldn't have to buy another one anytime soon. And the wedges, like I said, they came from MAC. So, now, how do you know where to place your contour? That's so, like, simple. Basically, look at your face. Look in the mirror. Grab a mirror. Look in your face. And you want to point out the parts of your face that you want to create light to. So, like I said, above the cheekbone, the nose, the brow bone, here. These are all areas that you will want to apply that lighter color, because what it's going to do is in the sunlight or in artificial lighting, it's going to pull the light to that area, making that area stand out even more. Now you're going to take your warmer color, your darker concealer, or like sometimes like to use my Blunt by MAC. It's a matte blush that looks awesome as a contouring blush. And you're going to take a darker color, and everywhere that you apply a lighter color, follow it with the darker color underneath it. What that's going to do, it's going to create darkness. So we're basically playing with light and dark here. Dark creates shadows, it hides things, and the light brings attention and makes them stand out more. So I'm going to highlight above the cheekbone, and to make that cheekbone look even more chiseled and perfect, underneath it, apply a darker color. It will make that stand out. Does it make sense? It's pure like science. It's just light and dark. Another product that you can use for your concealer, your contour and highlight, is this Albatross by NARS. This is another favorite, and I especially love it for my bombshells that can have a little bit of sparkle on the face. Not everybody wants shine on the face, which is understandable, which is why you would want to use the midnight powder, because it's not shiny, or it doesn't have a shiny finish. The Albatross, it does, because it's a highlighting powder, and on the skin, it just definitely, it glows. But it looks so beautiful, and you can apply this on top of your cream concealer, or you can do it without the concealer and just do it alone. It's just up to you. Let's see. When you're doing your contouring with the blush or the warm shade to create that darkness or shadow, especially where the cheekbones are, you want to make sure not to drag that color down too far, because then you'll actually lose the cheekbone that you were trying to create. So what I mean is taking your blush brush, pick up a little bit of your product, and you want to apply that cheek color right there underneath the cheekbone. And you want to stop it right there. Actually, what that's going to do, it's going to create the impression that the cheekbone extends itself. But if you go too heavy and you bring it too far down, it's just going to look like a very drastic, nasty, dark line, and you don't want that. So don't bring the dark color too far down on the cheekbones. Just enough so you can see that, honey, she's got something going on with that face. But you don't want to do too much, because then you'll look like you just have a big long black line or whatever color you're using. So just in that area is purely enough. You don't need more than that. You also can do a rule of thumbs. It's very easy for beginners to remember how to apply their blush, their bronzer, their darker color by remembering the 3s of the face. 3, okay? 1, 2, 3. So you could take your warmer color and apply it here, here, and here. And that will always give you the correct placement for where you need to apply your blush. Basically, you also can make that little fish face right there where that it seems like the heel kind of tips over. That's underneath. That's the hollows of the cheeks. That's where you apply that dark color. And then at the height of it is where I would apply the light color. Okay? And then for when you're contouring your nose, you basically, one little tip that I would like to share is to dump the brush for that part. You don't want to use the brush for the nose, only because to me it can make it too dramatic and too drastic, unless you like dramatic. Dramatic is cute. Sometimes it's cute when done right. But you can take your 2 middle fingers, dip them in the product that you're going to use for your creating your thinner nose. So like it will be this color, that color. Take your middle fingers, dip them in there, and you're going to feel while you're dragging the product down for that edge of the bridge of the nose. You don't want to go on top of the bridge, but more on the sides. So taking your finger, and you can feel that, like you can feel it. It's the bone, and you'll see how it dips off. That's where that darker color is going to go. Avoid going on top of the bridge. You don't want to make it too unrealistic, so you want to follow the natural bone structure of your face. So right here, this is where my bone stops at. My bridge is not defined normally, so when I take that darker color and I rub it around this area and I blend it out, I create the appearance that my nose is more prominent than it really is. Because in actuality, my nose does not really look so well defined. But after you do that, then you'll notice that it creates darkness. So you'll see this shadow that you would think is the real structure of my nose, but more so it's just me putting darker colors there so it looks that way. And then I take my lighter color and I apply it on the top of the bridge with my pinky finger. Just really simple. Just like drag it there and blend it out. And to me, I like to use my fingers only because I don't want to get lines or anything like that going on. I want it to be very blended. So it just works better with my fingers. I can get more control and I can feel what I'm doing. And I can get it dead on so it looks right. Because one thing you want to make sure that you're doing is you look in the mirror before you leave out the house when you do your contouring. Because if you contour incorrectly, you can make your face look very lopsided and uneven, and it can look crazy. So you want to make sure that you're looking at yourself and you're paying attention to what you're doing. You're not just throwing on colors, because you are, when you start messing with contouring, you are really changing the way your face looks. So if you do it incorrectly, you can make your face look worse than you really started off. Kind of like a bad plastic surgery job. So, you know, you definitely want to look in the mirror. Make sure you're looking at yourself and you're seeing, like, you know, am I doing this even? Is this side correct? Did I do too much concealer underneath this eye, and now this eye that looks funny, it's not even. Take those things into consideration, okay? Or else you might not have a good friend that will tell you, and then you walk around looking like a drag queen or just looking stupid, honey. And you don't want to look like that. You want it to be blended, you want it to be perfect, and it needs to look natural at the same time. Unless, like I said, you're dramatic, and then dramatic is fine. So those are just some of the tips that I have to share on contouring. Like I said, definitely invest yourself in this this palette was like $20 or less. Very inexpensive. And I use it for so many things, and it has so many colors like to choose from. So it's a good palette, especially for makeup artists. If you're just beginning and you need something to use, palettes are better because you get variety. And this is a cream palette. Cream concealers work very well on normal to dry skin. Sometimes they can look a little bit too cakey on oily skin, but if you use a primer underneath it, then you should not have a problem. If you are worried about the cakiness of a concealer that's cream, then you will probably like this Ben Nye Luxury Powder better, because the finish is more of a satiny, smooth finish, so it doesn't look cakey on the skin. Or you can double up and you can use this underneath and put this on top, and it can create the perfect concealer and highlight. So yeah, the brush that I like to use when I do use a brush, because sometimes, remember, we're using our fingers. I use the concealer brush by Sephora. It's the Airbrush Concealer Precision Brush, and the reason I like this is because it's rounded, so it actually doesn't leave any dramatic lines. It just blends everything in, and it kind of blends it for you. So this is a very, very good brush to invest in. I think it might retail for about $30 or so, but these brushes last you at least a year and longer, quite some time if you keep them up properly and maintain the cleanliness of them. So yeah, those are just some tips on contouring and highlighting. If you need any more help, send me a message, or, you know, leave a comment below and try to help you out as best as I can, okay? Thanks, Bombshells. Good night and take care.